welcome back. Today we're gonna talk about the Oscars, but as you can probably tell by the title, it's going to be a little bit different because this year, this time, I didn't actually get to watch the Academy Award. I think this is the first time in like 5 or 6 years where I didn't watch it because I usually do, which you I yeah. Uh, the reason was one, I don't have a television, so I couldn't watch it on TV. It is shown on a Danish television channel, but I couldn't watch it there. And normally, I don't have any trouble finding somewhere where I could stream it for free. But apparently, this year, that was impossible. I found tons of fake links linking to either scam pages, just nothing, or pages where I just didn't want to press the button because I was afraid of getting some kind of virus. So that actually, before I continue with the Oscar talk, because I am going to talk a little bit about it, but before I talk about that, let's just analyze the whole thing about not finding the live streams, but finding all the fakes. So it seems that Google slash YouTube, which basically is the same, has spent a lot of time removing anywhere where any link that leads to somewhere where you could actually watch the Academy Awards because oh yeah, we can't have that people watch that for free. I mean, it's not it's we want them to buy it or stuff like that later, but no. You can't buy the Academy Award. It's not like it's out on DVD. It's a live television broadcast that might get rerun. I don't really see the point of not showing it live on the internet. But no, of course, they want you to pay. I guess I can see some sense in that, seen from a capitalistic viewpoint. But what I can't see is why leave all the fake links? The ones where people get scammed, maybe giving up information they probably shouldn't have, or paying for something that isn't really there, or risk getting a virus. It seemed that Google slash YouTube doesn't really give a shit about that. So what we can learn from this is that YouTube slash Google cares about all the big guys. They don't want to get on the bad side of them, but the people that actually use it, no, fuck them. I might be overanalyzing it, but still, come on. At least remove all the fake sites while you're at it. And it wasn't like these fake sites would come like at page 27 of the YouTube search sites. No, it was being like the first three sites where you see, oh, click here to watch the live stream, and you can then see, oh, yeah, you have to fill out this form, or oh, we want some information, and you could see that this is not like a legit place. And some people just don't have that instinct to tell. That's not because they're dumb, it might be because they're naive, and they are there. Don't let them get fooled, Google. Remove those links. Those links are more important to remove than copyright protected links. So what if someone uses a piece of music that's copyrighted? It's not really hurting anybody at all. It might actually want people to go buy that music that is copyrighted. But people who lose money or give up the information and stuff like that, they actually get hurt. They get hurt financially. They get viruses and spyware and whatnot. But I don't know. Get your priorities right, straight, whatever. Anyway, back to the Oscars. That was just a little rant I wanted to get off my chest. So yeah, I didn't watch it, and you know what? It wasn't really that big of a deal that I didn't watch it because I don't know. There really wasn't any movies there on the list. I hadn't seen any of the movies, and there really wasn't any that I cared deeply about. There was Boyhood. I was glad that that movie at least won one Oscar. Patricia Arquette, lovely actress, though always been a more fan of her sister Rosanna, who was there. I did see some of the red carpet footage because other places, though, that was broadcasted live. And I must admit that Rosanna still looks amazing. Uh, she really does. But yeah, Boyhood won one Oscar. But and that was the only movie that I really cared that much about. I haven't really heard of any of the others. Birdman sounds interesting, I guess. I haven't really heard much about it. I haven't seen the trailer. I don't watch trailers. I like to just go in blind. And I'll probably not. I'll probably be like a year before I watch any of the Oscar-nominated movies, except for maybe Boyhood. I looked at the last year's nominees and winners and stuff like that, and I don't think I've even watched a fifth of those yet. Mainly because most of the movies that are nominated for Oscar these days aren't really that interesting to me. I don't know. Also, there's a lot of older movies that seems a lot more interesting that I haven't watched yet. A lot of foreign movies that seems a lot more interesting that I haven't watched yet. So I really don't care about The Wolf of Wall Street or whatever the other movies that were nominated last year was, or this year for that matter, American Sniper, or for that matter, Birdman. I mean, I'll probably watch it eventually, but I've never been one of those people that has to watch the newest movies like immediately. I mean, I'd rather watch a movie, some B movie from the 80s, because I don't know. But also, I don't know. The Academy Awards is kind of one of the worst thing I hate about the Academy Awards is that it's only, mostly at least, about the U.S. And I guess that's the way the Oscar is. But the problem is that this is the only television where you can actually watch the award show live or at all. The Cannes Festival, the Berlin Festival and all the other big festivals don't have the place where you can see the award show. Mostly because a lot of them takes place over multiple days and stuff like that. So we've stuck with basically the Academy Awards and a few other award shows. I guess the MTV Movie Awards, but all of these are focusing mostly on well on U.S. movies and for me, it's just getting less and less U.S., especially Hollywood movies that sounds interesting. It's a lot of foreign. I prefer most of the time the foreign movies. So I guess watching the Oscars, like what I'm trying to say is the reason I have been focused that much on the Academy Awards and watched it every year is because, well, there really wasn't anything else to watch like it. So it was a big thing. It was the big award show mostly because the other big ones wasn't being broadcasted on television. And even their foreign movie awards was getting kind of eh. I actually looked up a few of my favorite foreign directors, foreign, why am I saying foreign? Non-American directors to see if they've been nominated for Oscars, and I was really shocked. Here's some of the foreign, non-American directors that has never been nominated for an Oscar: Chan Wook Park, Kim Ki-duk, John Woo, Jean-Luc Godard. Yes, Godard has not. Godard, I don't know how you pronounce his Latin name. Actually, he has not been nominated for an Oscar. Lucas Moodysson and Luc Besson. None of these directors has ever been nominated for an Oscar. They've made amazing movies. They've been making movies at the time of the Oscars. It's not like these are old directors that was before the Oscars was invented. I mean, that's a little hard to do since the Oscars was like from 1923, 29, I don't know. But yeah, a lot of great directors that never got nominated. It seems like I don't know. And the recipe for making an Oscar movie isn't necessarily a good movie. They seem to go for the whole, oh, we need famous actors, a lot of them preferably, and we need a big budget. I don't know what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that maybe not watching the Academy Awards this year wasn't that bad of a thing. Maybe it's about time I move on to something else. I'm not gonna move away from movies, but to be honest, of all the Academy Award winning movies out there, there really isn't that many who have made my list of favorite movies. So, yeah, but let's analyze a little more the movies that did win. Like I said, Birdman, I know nothing about it. Michael Keaton, great actor, no doubt about that. The best Batman there was. Second place goes to Adam West. Um, but yeah, and Julianne Moore won an Oscar. Haven't seen the movie, don't know anything about the movie, but I like Julianne Moore. She is a talented, beautiful actress, and I don't know if this is the first. I don't know if she's actually won anything else. Has she? I mean, she's won awards, but I mean the Academy Awards. Uh, I don't know, but I'm sure that that award won, the movie she won it for was a decent movie. It's hard to talk about the Academy Awards when I haven't actually watched them. But yeah, I don't know. Um, well, I was a little bummed out at first that I didn't get to watch it, to be honest. But it's not that big of a deal. There's sheep down there. I seem to get surprised by that all the time. I don't know why. Let's get out of here. Actually, can I drop down? Yes, I can. Um, who else won? I don't really know much about the guy who won the award for best male role. I didn't even know who he was. So that was a bit surprising. Um, and J.K. Simmons, I don't really know much about him. Never really seen that many movies. I remember him when I saw him on the red carpet thing. Thought he looked familiar, and the thing is, the thing I remember him from is actually from the Spider-Man movies as um, Jameson. So I don't know, and I don't really know that much about him. But yeah, speaking of the red carpet, that's probably one of the worst things about the Academy Awards. It's fun to watch all the celebrities like appear and stuff. Oh, that's that celebrity, and it's fun to sometimes hear the interviews. But then it's all about, oh, who made your dress, guys? If you wanna see a fashion show, go to a fashion show. The Oscars shouldn't be about the dresses. People spend literally hundreds of thousands of dollars on their outfits. And you know what? They're probably not gonna wear it again, ever. Wow. Nice priorities. Jesus fucking Christ. Really, and it's kind of sexist as well. For both genders. For the females, it's sexist because they have to look special. They have to put something really into this dress. They have to make sure that they have the best dress ever. And for the males, it's just the opposite. They have to wear a tuxedo. That's it. And in both cases, that's kind of sexist and bullshit. I would like to see some men actually maybe dress a little differently. I hate wearing tuxedos, so if I ever were to be nominated for an Oscar or just go to the Oscar ceremony, which I probably wouldn't, I would hate to wear a fucking tuxedo. Or a suit for that matter. But yeah, and all those critics, fashion critics, that suddenly has become a big part of the Academy Awards. They always, oh yeah, this year it's this color, and lines, straight lines are so out this year, and blah blah fucking blah. Yeah, let's turn everybody into mindless drones, victims of fashion. Here's a hint: wear whatever the fuck you want. I saw like a thing where they say, "Oh yeah, now we're gonna look at some history of the worst dresses ever," and I feel like, "Oh my god, is that really?" And most of those dresses weren't really that ugly. And why the hell is there a wood block here? That's weird. A naturally occurring wood block. Huh. Anyway, but yeah, I really don't. That whole you have. It's okay to tell people that they're ugly during the Academy Awards. Oh, that dress is ugly. Well, they don't say that, but they might as well. Have you never heard of if you don't have anything good to say, shut the fuck up? Ah, well, I don't know. Maybe I won't be watching the Oscars in the future. Maybe that's a good thing. It's also, for me in Denmark, this means I have to stay up all night between Sunday to Monday. So, normally I wouldn't I have school normally there, or work in some cases. So, that is kind of an inconvenient time. I actually didn't get to school today because when I found out that the Academy that I couldn't find any place to stream the Academy Awards, it was already 3 o'clock, and I had just finished a couple of cups of coffee, so I wasn't really tired. About the time when I started to get tired, it was like 5 o'clock, and I had to get up again at about 8. So I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'll take the day off. That was my plan anyway. So, just for different reasons. So it is a little inconvenient to watch the Academy Awards. And like I said, most of the movies aren't really movies that interest me, and sometimes the actors interest me. Like, for instance, Ethan Hawke was nominated. Unfortunately, he didn't win. Who won? Who won that award? I don't remember. But yeah, Birdman is probably a great movie. Not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna like it. It's I think I've heard a little bit about it, and it seems like a kind of interesting movie. But most of the other ones, it was like, okay. And like I said, I haven't even really read that much about the different movies that were nominated this year. But when I remember back on the movies from last year, which I really can't remember, but I remember that most of them was like, eh, I'll watch it eventually. And is it really that interesting to watch a show where that's your most used thought? I'll watch it eventually. Wouldn't it be nicer to? Oh my God, that movie looks amazing. I want to watch it. But they're really, it's becoming rarer and rarer that those kind of movies are in the Academy Awards. And it's not really me who's changed my preference in movies. I guess everybody else has. There just seems to be so much mediocrity. And you know what? There's a reason for that. Because mediocrity is what sells. I talked about this before. I think last time it was based on movies. No, I mean music. But yeah, when you think about it, for a movie to be popular, it has to reach a great amount of audience, which means that you can't be too risky, you can't take too many chances, or else you will alienate a certain demographic. So therefore, you make it mediocre, and those are the movie that becomes popular. A few times, people actually, but a few times the underdogs is actually the ones that make the most money, and that is good times. Look at a guy like Steven Spielberg. He's won 3 Oscars and been nominated like 9 other times. And like the majority of his movies is mediocre at best. There's nothing special about them. Take a look at Jaws, entertaining movie, but is it really that much special? It's a rubber shark attacking people. Close Encounters of the Third Kind is not even among my favorite sci-fi movies. Schindler's List was, I guess, okay, but it wouldn't even make my top 10 of World War II movies. That would be movies like uh, Die Fälscher, Der Untergang, Stalingrad, Come and See, uh, and others. But, yeah, I don't know. I guess the Oscars has become more and more during the years just a celebration of mediocrity and movies that take themselves way too serious. Uh, and of course, the there's always going to be those movies that you just know is specifically designed to get Oscar nomination, or at least to try to get Oscar nominations. So yeah, I guess it's not that big of a loss that I didn't get to see it. Read who won, and I did watch the memoriam. Is that what it's called? Video where you saw all the people who had died during the last year, and I always like watching that. That sounded really morbid. No, it's good to see. Like, I just found it interesting. It's always good to know who's dead. I don't know why, but it's just I would feel terrible if I found out that one of my favorite actors had died 5 years ago. So I guess that's why I like watching these, and it is sad when we lose someone. To be honest, I didn't really become as emotional about Robin Williams as everybody else did. I don't know why. He just I don't know, he just never meant that much to me. He's a great actor, don't get me wrong, and it's probably going to be a great loss for the movie community. But I think a lot of people, the reason why he meant that much was, for instance, well, at least one group of people was the movie Aladdin, because that's what I've heard. Because Aladdin was my childhood and stuff like that. Aladdin was actually the point where Disney started going downhill in my book, because everything became more and more silly from that point, and then we came to the whole CGI graphics, which just made it even worse. I don't know, but yeah, it was sad. Of course, Robin Williams died. We had H.R. Geiger also dead. Wasn't it? uh, was Rig Mail? Was that last year? Was that before? I don't know. I just felt like he should have been on the list. Or maybe he was on the list last year. I don't know. Maybe they just overlooked him. I don't know. I mean, Rick Mail for me was I felt that harder, and Geiger as well, because those were more people that I don't know was my kind of people. Uh, and he's an Eggberg. I don't know why that one surprised me. I didn't know she was dead, and also that kind of felt harder. Even though I only watched one movie starring her, but that was a great movie. That was like an amazing movie. That was La Dolce Vita, old Fellini movie. And I don't the scenes which she was in the fountain is like a big famous. That is her, right? Now I'm confused now. But yeah, if that scene was like a big cinematic, you know, thing. I don't know. I'm rambling. I haven't really gotten much sleep. Um, I'm not sleep deprived like I was the other day. But yeah. So, like I said, to sum up all I've talked about, Academy Awards. Um, I guess maybe I've outgrown them, or maybe who knows? Maybe next year, if I have a television or find a place to stream them, I might just watch it anyway. But I don't really see it as that great of a loss that I didn't watch it. And look at that, all my sheep seem to be gone from up here, or maybe they're just all standing right here. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, today's videos is well, it's a Stalker, and I'm doing pretty good in Stalker. I'd say I might be wrong, but I'm enjoying the game. That's the most important part. And there's also maybe, I'm saying maybe because I haven't made it yet. I hope I can make it. There might also be something else. Well, the sheep's back now. But I won't, I'm not gonna talk about that it's something else, because if I don't make it, I want it to be a surprise for next Monday. But if I do get around to making it, well, then you'll see it, I guess. Anyway, this video was kind of messy. I don't know. My original plan was to talk about the Academy Wars, the show itself, but since I didn't actually watch it, I found it kind of hard to talk about it, and therefore I got a little confused about what I was supposed to talk about. But I managed to talk a lot still. That's my gift, I guess. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow for more Minecraft. Bye.